Final question. Like I said in the beginning, Elon's worth almost $500 billion right now.
Yeah.
Does he financially help you out and his other siblings?
Let's get into it for a minute. If you had the opportunity to amass over $500 billion, $500 billion, would you not go through any length to help your family, to help those in need? That's the dedicated story that this displays. So I'm curious to know how many people would go through the lengths to help other family members out. Listen to what Elon does with his money. This is what happens behind the scenes. People can dog him, and they talk about Doge, and they talk about Neuralink and Tesla and the Boring Company and Starlink. They talk about all these companies, but they don't talk about his philanthropy work, his humanitarian heart, and what he actually does. Now, granted, this is one-sided because it's coming from his father, but listen to the story as to what this man actually does with his money on a monthly basis.
Or are you guys pretty much on your own?
Yes, the family foundation, the family company rather, provides for all the single women monthly, and also a little bit of help to those that are married, the women. And for me, a little bit of help. I don't ask for much help because I'm self-supporting, you see, so I don't really have much need for help. I don't really need help. But last year, I must just tell you, I wanted, Elon suggested buying me a car last year, so it was originally going to be a Tesla, which was going to be sent out here, but the price was astronomical, and we're not set up at all for anything like that. So I thought, no, I don't want to be outside.
What he means by setup, for those that don't have a Tesla, meaning charging stations. Sure, you can have a charging station in your home, but when you're traveling, if the distance between the amount of charge that you have on your car is outside of the current miles, you're going to run out of charge. So wherever he's at, in some type of remote area, it's just not worth having a Tesla EV car.
Service range and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, that was 2 years. That was about 18 months ago. And then last year, towards the end of last year, they said, would you like a car? And I said, yeah. So they said, well, what are you going to get? Why don't you get a Jeep or something? So I said, no, I don't want a Jeep. I want something decent. So, sorry, a Jeep is very decent. What I mean is, I wanted something else. So they said, well, what do you want? I said, I want a Bentley. So Elon said, sure, Bentley. So there's a Bentley in my garage now.
Now, before y'all get started on this man is getting a Bentley, we all want Bentleys, right? We're talking between $129,000 to up to $300,000 for a car. But just know that when you have this type of money, it's a drop in the bucket. And where I see people really coming down on him in terms of spending money, look at these NBA players, look at these NFL players. They grab onto $800,000 and they're pulling their entourage with them. They're buying their parents' $1 million homes. Needless to say, they overextend themselves. And yes, sure, we all want to do for others, but you got to be smart about your money. You've got to spend your money at the right time, the right place, on the right person.
Bentley Flying Spur, so it's very nice. I haven't put the number plates on yet. Still trying to put the number plates on. I haven't got there yet,
Okay, but you're saying that there's a foundation that basically financially supports this whole extended family?
Yes, if somebody gets ill or needs anything, but all the single women receive a monthly income,
Oh.
All the single women, my ex-wife, in fact, Ada, receives a monthly.
Comment below. Is this what you guys would do? Would you guys take care of all the single women in your family, whether you were married in or divorced out, but you're still part of the family? Elon Musk takes care of all of the single women. He's going to go one step further. I'm going to let you guys hear this, but he takes care of all of the single women in the household, if you will, the umbrella of the Musk.
All the single women, and then if they're married, they also get a little bit of help, and so on. So they help everyone. Yeah, I don't really have a great need for assistance but occasionally they help me if I ask, if I ask. They help me with my medical costs. My medical costs were $1 million, so the medical aid only provided 600,000. So they bridged that gap for me. That was nice. That was a big help.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, what Elon is doing is, you can't even call it generational wealth. This is like millennial wealth, I guess.
Yes. I mean, if these companies like the SpaceX go public, they'd have a great deal of, it would be $1 trillion. It would be worth $1 trillion, But of course, it's not always a good thing to go public, No. Look, they do whatever's necessary financially to help. I certainly have no complaints with them, either Kimball or Elon, If you ask them, they help you. It's as simple as that.
No, look, I've always been a huge fan of Elon Musk. I remember I bought a Tesla around 9 years ago. It was a Model S. And ever since then, that's the only cars that I bought.
Well, sure. Once you bought an electric...
I'm on my 4th Tesla right now. Yeah, I've got my current car is a Model X Plaid, which is basically the fastest car in America. I know that whenever I'll do interviews with fighters or athletes, and I'll put them in the passenger seat and take them around the block, and they're like screaming like little girls because they're so terrified.
People get a terrible surprise. Once you start the electric car, I mean, when I'm over there, I only drive electric cars. When I'm going to the US, I mean, I've been twice in the last 12 months, I've spent 12 weeks there. So you only drive electric cars. I mean, why would you drive anything else? And, I'm quite surprised with my most recent trip, or was it the one before that, when the long trip to Boca Chica, you go to a Shell service station, and on the one side is the petrol pumps, on the other side are all the electric charging stations. And the big thing is to get in there and find an empty charging station, because there might be like 15 charging stations, and there's a car at every single one, And you go, so you wait for one to move on, and so that you can go in and charge. Yeah, so that was a new one for me quite recently. But before that, we always did home charging. And so, once you drive an electric car, you're not going to easily go back to a petrol car. No, you're not easily.
No. Yeah, once you go electric, the thought of going to a gas station, the smell, the dirt, picking up the nozzle, putting it in, putting your credit card in, dealing.
I'm gonna keep it real. I've got a Tesla, and I do have a petrol car as well, but mainly drive the Tesla. And I am super thankful that I'm no longer going to the gas station and grabbing the pump and standing there. That's okay. The worst part is grabbing the pump. And when you start to realize like how long it's been since you've grabbed a pump, you then start to realize like it's never been cleaned. It's never been cleaned. And you are amazed when you see people, you're driving by and you see them in their nose or they're coughing and they got all kinds of, bad germs, super bad for the public. And guess where that goes? Right there on the pump. And you're grabbing it as well. So, I like to keep some hand sanitizer in the car just in case, I run into any of those situations, but it's a gross thing. I'm super thankful that I'm in an EV now.
Homeless guy,
buzzing
the homeless guy that wants to wash your windows and so forth. There's nothing like it. It's almost like going from a cassette tape to an MP3.
Yes, absolutely. No, it's really funny. It's completely agree with you. In fact, if I went over there, my daughter's got the new X, the one with the doors that go up.
Yeah, the Model X. That's what I have. Yeah.
And we really like that one. Really like that one. She had the Y before, but they've got a Y and an S. But the Y was for the baby. She got 2 babies, and so but now she's got the X. Because the Y's also got 3 rows of seats.
Yeah, no, listen, like I said, the best cars I've ever owned, and I could pretty much buy anything. If I want to buy a Rolls Royce or a Bentley, I would go get one. But I just find these cars to be more enjoyable to drive, which is why I've been buying them. Yeah.
No question about it. No question about it. In due course, there will only be electric cars. I mean, obviously, it's not not rocket science.
Yeah, that's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's not an if, it's a when.
Yes.
Well, Errol Musk, I definitely appreciate you coming in. And
Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Thank all of you for rocking with me.